Now, I will let you guys in a little secret about this show tonight. Almost didn't happen. Case in point, I have to work at 7 a.m. tomorrow, which means I have to be up at 5:45. So needless to say, we can't go all night tonight. It's a good way to cold open the show. Welcome to another award show podcast exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. Joining me as always, we have Ashley.
I wasn't smoking enough crack, apparently.
And as soon as AJ is able to join us, he'll be joining us as well. Just finished the BBC America broadcast of the 2019 BAFTA Awards.
Maybe. I'm trying to keep an eye on Twitter to see what they're presenting and whatever, and if they're doing it in the completely stupid order. I have no clue. People in chat will be able to tell us if they've presented Best Picture or if they haven't. So
no spoilers in chat, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't try and spoil it in chat yet.
I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't watch the show tonight. This is the only award show I haven't watched this season. So don't spoil the winners here. We're actually going to get to
I am the one that's spoiling.
Ashley's the only one that will. AJ will be here as soon as his feed finishes.
The one thing I will say, the Cirque du Soleil performance tonight was themed around First Man.
Interesting.
Although they did say it was also in reference to the 50th anniversary of the moon landings.
Also makes sense.
I think the theme was clearly the latter rather than the former, because first spoiler, First Man got nothing.
Oh, that sucks.
So we're 1 for 1. We're 1 for 2 now in the performance that Cirque du Soleil does gives you a hint as what Best Picture is. Even though obviously First Man wasn't in Best Picture, but it's like, okay, is that a sign that it's winning a lot of awards? Apparently not. It's just that's the best thing that they could come up with in terms of doing an acrobatic thing. Although there was an acrobat later on in the night randomly for visual effects. Yeah, because an acrobat coming down is a visual effect, isn't it?
Apparently so.
I'd say Joanna Lumley did a solid job.
Okay.
Nothing spectacular. She dressed up as Freddie Mercury, Live Aid Freddie, which is pretty crazy. Interestingly, though, she did favourite stuff. She did Stan and Ollie stuff, which is weird because it was barely in for anything. And also, she was trying to play games at the start and just said bollocks. It's just, which might probably got added out the US version.
Smurfy Boy, welcome to chat. He asked if First Man came out too early.
Maybe.
There was a lot of backlash when it came out, though. I do recall that.
Yeah, there were certain things like there was a lot of people up in arms about the actual factual accuracy of the scene on the moon with the thing. But is it fair to say though that it came out early? Because Bohemian Rhapsody has won stuff tonight.
Good.
Not saying what yet.
Good answer.
That came out, what, I think maybe a few weeks after it.
Mm-hmm.
A Star is Born was the same time in around October-ish. So it doesn't have to, always be. Hell, a film that was released 12 months ago won something. Which means you already know what it is.
We don't pay attention to dates.
No, but what award did they present first? Because I gave you the order that they apparently presented them.
Yeah, we have the order. Outstanding British Film was the first award of the evening.
That was the first one. Which, unsurprisingly, went to The Favourite.
Oh, great. Here comes the love fest.
Yes and no. Yeah, the fact that it was the only one of these that featured in the main one, and the main one seemed relatively cut and dry that it wasn't going to be the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of felt like it had to be this. I think that was the same reasoning I gave when I did my predictions.
And in the one of the most obvious awards of the evening, Best Animated Feature.
Yeah, this was one of the also presented this evening that they stuck on at the end. Went to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yep.
So I think it's, I guess, pretty much a given now that it's going to be Academy Award winning Spider-Man.
It is a guarantee between
Wow,
all
so
the
that
industry.
actually means that Sony Pictures might be getting a Razzie and Oscar in the same day.
Between all of the industry awards and the televised awards and the Annies, yeah, Spider-Man is definitely going to win Best Animated Feature, and you'd be pretty crazy to actually go against it at this point.
That might be a big clue then as to that winning the Redeemer Award at the Razzies. Because as they're saying, they went from Emoji Movie from last year or 2 years ago all the way to Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse.
Smurfy Boy says, I thought Bo Rap was going to win British Film when they announced Bryan Singer's name was removed from the nomination.
They never obviously disclosed the actual votes and whatever. But
I can't say that it wasn't close.
I think BAFTA may have done it just on principle,
Mm.
as if trying to say to the Oscar Academy, your turn. You know, if you feel this passionate about the whole, Me Too and all the various different movements there are, diversity and sexual assault and everything, maybe it might be a wise move to do that. Because I will say it didn't hurt Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay.
Anyway.
So we move on to our next category, which is production design.
This one went to The Favorite as well. Unsurprisingly, all three of us went for that one.
Yep.
I don't know what that's done in terms of. I don't know if we've had the guilds. Yeah, considering it got the guild as well, at least for period film, I'd say that probably is a lockup for. Not lockup, it's well, pretty much all but confirmed. Is that the right phrase?
Yeah, Cool Guy states favorite of British film on lock.
Yeah.
We go to British short.
Yeah, the two short ones. British short. We all wanted to be Wally, and the one I just thought about that I should have gone to, given I sort of have somewhat lived through something like this, being a former farmer myself, or farmer's son. It went to 73 cows.
Okay.
It did look like a promising sort of formula and whatever, and the clip looked pretty good compared to the other ones. So perhaps I should have gone for that, but Wally.
Boy. Yeah, Smurfy Boy said it's going to be the favorite versus Black Panther in the Tech Awards. Maybe.
Well, arguably you've got the third contender in Roma as well. There's a lot that could be in for.
And we move on to British short animation.
Of which Of course, we were all split on this one. Where's it going to go? Where's it going to go? Where's it going to go? And Roughhouse won.
Yes, I tied it up.
Owen gets the win on that one.
I get 1 point. Yay. 1 extra point. Okay, so we move on. Well, I already lost this one, so we can confirm now what you said at the beginning of the show. The first man went home empty-handed. So what one sound?
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Nice. I'm very happy with this. Did I think I may have said something like that in the show.
Yeah,
I remember.
I think there were quite a few of these where you were wanting to say Bohemian Rhapsody, but you didn't.
Yeah.
Partially because of previous awards or guilds.
Yeah. That's pretty much always the case, though.
But it's always a problem because obviously sound envelops both mixing and editing. With because I'm just double checking, is it in both? Yeah, it is in both at the Oscars. So I'd say more than likely that it's going to get one. Would you say, Owen? One
I would
or
say
two,
so.
maybe.
Could win both. You never know. I've been saying since August, Bohemian Rhapsody is going to be an Oscar juggernaut more than people think it's going to be. And I think now that we're almost there, it seems like it may actually come to fruition.
I think it's picking up something.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to pick up some steam, too, now.
I don't know whether it's going to, like, win everything.
No.
But I'd say it's probably more than likely going to leave with at least two. I don't know which two. But I think there's a good probability that Bo Rap Horseman, as I'm now going to call it,
Yeah,
Bo Rap Horseman is going to be one of those where it's a multiple winner,
I
not
can see
just
that
a
easily.
single award.
So, Cool Guy says, I feel if Black Panther was nominated for VFX, it would have won because members not a part of the VFX branch would have voted for it because they don't know much about the category and would have voted for the movie they like the most. First Man will win VFX when the Oscars come along, and Panther winning editing, and Bo Rap will win mixing.
That's it. Keep talking about the Oscars. Don't talk about this because I'm spoiling it. Remember, I am the official spoiler. Speaking
of that, real quick, I want to throw a shout out to @BBC America on Twitter for retweeting our podcast tonight.
What?
Yep.
Holy shit! They're desperate.
Well, they like the post. There you go.
This is America. Don't catch you slipping, no.
Exactly.
Topical, because that actually won Song of the Year.
We move into best editing.
Oh, I don't want to say it.
I know what you're going to say.
Why?
You always say it every single show.
Hot damn.
Yep, I'm not surprised.
Vice won,
despite
the fact it had a distinct lack of editing. When this was awarded, and we only saw this via the also presented tonight, Hank Corwin looks like he's fucking the dude.
The dude now or the dude back then? That's the question.
The dude, well, to be honest, he had more like a cross of the dude and Hunter S. Thompson.
So he is Jeffed out, then.
He's got weird glasses. He's got weird wavy hair. And when they announced that he won, it was like he'd been fucking prodded with a cattle prod. God. He was that amazed.
Cool Guy thinks editing is going to be won by Vice at the Oscars because it has the most editing. And of course, per usual, he said hot damn.
Hot damn.
Cassie, thank you for watching. I know you're watching the Grammys right now. We appreciate you watching the archive of the show. We move on to Best Documentary. We all went in different directions here.
Well, yes.
Yep, we did.
And we're all wrong.
I'm not surprised. What one?
I should have gone with my heart Free Solo won.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah, it's the one where after 2 weeks, the screening on Boxing Day was actually full.
Wow.
I should have seen it coming, shouldn't I?
I would say so.
But then again, RBG was somewhat full, but that was just a one-off screening. For Identical Strangers was relatively full, and that was maybe first or second week. But it wasn't like a legit sellout where I was having to sort of prop in the front row like Free Solo was. So, then again, so was They Shall Not Grow Old. What happened with that? I thought that was going to sweep this one easily, and it didn't.
Oh, real quick before we go any further, I will state that AJ is not here yet. So, if on the unlikely event that he does not show up for the show, then he will give his BAFTA thoughts when we do our ginormous Oscar telecast on
You
the
might
24th.
have to do it like in the second half of this, because if looking at the BBC America sort of feed of what's going on, they're leaving Best Picture till last, which means they're completely editing it differently to how it is on the British feed.
I literally don't care right now. We're doing the show.
I know. So,
I have to work in like 6 hours. So Cool Guy says, I'm surprised it won over Bo Rap in the favorite. Free Solo will likely lose the Oscar to RBG because it's about RBG.
We'll see. I think Free Solo now is more of a contender than it may have been if it hadn't won here.
Cool Guy asked if we're doing Razzie predictions. Not that I'm aware of.
No, I think we'll just be reacting sort of to them.
So the red carpet Oscar so this is the only time that Ashley and AJ and myself all will be joining for the live podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to go through the entire show during the red carpet.
Yeah, start an hour before the actual ceremony begins.
Correct.
8.
We're going to kick off with Spirit Awards, and we're also going to talk about the Razzies. And if AJ is not able to show up, we'll talk about the BAFTAs.
And I guess even though by then it won't matter, the final one of the final Guild Awards will have come out.
WGA, yeah.
This week. No, because you've got the sound editing ones on the 17th, and you've got makeup and hair on the 16th, costume on the 19th, sound mixing on the 16th as well. So you've got a lot between you've got 4 or 5 now between now, and that doesn't even include the WGA, like you said, Owen.
Where's the scripter?
Now and a fortnight. Say again?
Scripter's this week, isn't it?
I think it's next weekend.
Okay.
Let me just double check.
We should be doing our Oscar predictions sometime this week. Actually, I can guarantee you we will be, because we don't have long.
Oh, no. You're right, Owen. WGAs are actually, tonight / tomorrow. So we'll find them during Raw.
Which will be live for a super version of the Monday Wrestling Popcast while the WWE garbage is going on. We'll talk about All Elite Wrestling and New Japan and Ring of Honor.
Does that mean we're going 3 hours? It's like the good old days?
I doubt it. Well, maybe.
If we're going to cover Raw, Raw's 3 hours.
Well, once Raw's over, we're taking it home, so.
I know, but it gives us a chance to cover it all in 3 hours, along with what else is happening, and Owen can react to stuff.
It'll be the first time I've watched Raw in a decade. Cool Guy said that Leave No Trace won the UFC scripter. That's cool. Nice consolation prize for not going anywhere else.
Hang on, I'm trying. That isn't. So it's not in.
I don't have broadcast television, Cool Guy, so it's hard for me to watch the Grammys. But I see this version of In My Blood that Shawn Mendes did with Miley Cyrus on my Twitter feed, and it makes me smile. So I'm like, yeah, I need to look into this. Honestly,
Dua Lipa got Best New Artist.
that's good. I follow a lot of like I'm a big fan of like Todd in the Shadows and Mr. 96 and a lot of the music, like the ones that do the music top tens, like best and worst of the year.
Yeah,
I'm big on that.
if we're talking Grammys briefly, we might as well bring up the fact that Greatest Showman actually won Best Compilation Soundtrack.
Yeah, it did.
And Best Score Soundtrack went to Black Panther.
Again, I have no knowledge of the movie, so I'm not even going to try.
Best Song went to Shallow.
Which apparently was performed by Lady Gaga and Mark Ronson the night.
Probably. Well, Shallow's been a big one because it won that. But it also won Best Duo Performance as well.
Fair.
In the pop category. So Bradley Cooper has 2 Grammys.
That's good. I like that.
What's the next category, Owen?
We are moving on to what are we at right now? We are at makeup and hair.
Ooh, right. We all got it wrong. I guess what was the term I came up with? British swing. What was it? Can't remember the term that I used. Anyway, the favourite one.
Why?
British skew, that was it.
Yeah, that's it.
British skew, I'm guessing. Because there was a lot of makeup in making Olivia Colman look uglier.
Right.
Even though she isn't ugly. And then obviously you add the makeup on the wound that Rachel Weisz's character suffers later on in the thing. And then you add the makeup, of which you've seen, if you haven't seen the film, you've seen it in the trailer, when Emma Stone is smashing herself in the face with a book. So you needed makeup for that. And of course, you had all the makeup on all the extras, a naked man, Nicholas Hoult, all that sort of stuff.
I mean, it seems like, and a cool guy said the same thing. I was shocked at this, thought Vice was a lead pipe log. I don't think this is going any further for the favorite. But again, we always discount one instead of the other. Because if it's just hair or if it's just makeup, you go a different direction.
Yeah.
No one would be surprised the favorite swept tonight. I just thought they might want to switch things up a little bit. I guess not.
Well, of course they have, technically.
We'll get to that.
Because obviously favorite isn't in makeup and hair at the Oscars.
Very true.
Mary Queen of Scots is, which got nothing.
Black Klansman won Best Composition for Blood and Soil. Black Panther won Score, Soundtrack, and Album of the Year. And Bradley Cooper won a Grammy before whoever won an Oscar. That's a shame, but it's true.
Unless, of course, Shallow wins.
He won the Grammy already, so the conversation's over.
And that's what I'm saying. If Shallow wins at the Oscars,
it's going to.
Because it depends how they classify it. Because as I'm looking here at the actual notes in terms of the actual, where it was in the soundtrack sort of category stuff, it's listed, at least on Wikipedia, and I'm pretty sure it's on the actual official thing on the Grammys. If I can fucking find it in this thing. Where is it? I'm pretty sure it's listed. Yeah. Shallow, written by Lady Gaga, Mark Ronson, Anthony Rossomando, and Andrew Ryott. Songwriters, Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. So Bradley might be able to get an Oscar via that way.
He's not credited at the Oscars, apparently.
Boo.
That's lame. Welcome, AJ.
Yeah. They really wanted to stretch it out to 11:30, didn't they?
Well, that wasn't going to happen for me because I have to be up at 5:45, so we had to start early.
Is this where I have to quickly run through everything quickly for AJ?
Yeah.
So name them off again to where we are for makeup and hair. So go from the top again.
Song goes to the songwriters, not the performers. Bradley ain't wearing. I'm not saying that word on camera. British film
was the favorite,
which AJ went with. Animated feature,
Spider-Man.
AJ also went with. Production design,
favorite.
AJ went with. British short,
Rough House.
No, that's.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 73 Cows. Moo.
Has it been discussed how they showed this, at least in the show I saw?
They stuck it at the end.
Yeah, they did a recap of the stuff that they didn't show, and then they started recapping the stuff they did show.
Oh, it got on the international feed as well.
Oh, Lord.
The last one being costume design is like, that's been on the show. Why are you showing it twice?
They did foreign twice, too.
There we go.
Christ.
Okay.
I guess people's speeches were not long enough that they had enough time to fill, and then they were just like, oh, shit.
Which all three of us went with Wally. British short animation.
Rough House.
AJ when I'm okay. Sound.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
I was happy to be wrong. AJ and myself both went with First Man. Editing.
Vice.
AJ is the only one of the three of us that got it. I should have went with my head. Documentary.
Free Solo.
None of us went with that. Makeup and hair.
And we caught up with the favorite.
Yep. So ends another rousing game of loaded questions. Comedy for two is still comedy.
Yeah. Is anybody else starting to get a lot of faith in Free Solo?
Maybe.
I don't know that I fully buy RBG as an Oscar winner yet.
I wouldn't rule it out just because of the topic and the subject matter. But Free Solo now is a proper contender to rival it.
Yeah, because when I keep thinking that RBG seems like the obvious one, I'm immediately having flashbacks to Faces Places last year. With Free Solo being a total Icarus in the situation.
Maybe.
Except it's the other way around, because Free Solo is not political. Whereas RBG blatantly is, because they actually bring up the whole Trump situation in it. So
I just realized looking through these, which I assume we'll get to if you didn't already, despite recapping some things twice, in the recap there was one thing they still missed. They never showed visual effects.
We'll get to it.
Wow, because they did on the off version. Okay, so what's next?
We are at supporting actress.
Oh, the first one that they presented, sort of. Maybe. Unsurprisingly, went to Rachel Weisz for the favorite.
Yeah, I think we discussed this a little before, but I was actually going to say something when we did the predictions that I forgot to, and I guess it's a sign I forgot to because it didn't matter. I was actually starting to get worried that we were way too confident in Weisz and she was going to do the whole Fassbender and 12 Years a Slave thing, where it's like as soon as the frontrunner snubbed, we automatically assume it's the one person, and then he lost to Barkhad Abdi. I kind of assumed that something like that was going to happen to Weisz at the very last minute, but we didn't have to worry about
No.
it.
Cool Guy says Faces Places lost Icarus, the more topical film. If RBG does win, it would just be to get her on stage at the Oscars, says Smurfy Boy. Yeah, I could see that. Cool Guy says Rachel will continue her momentum to the Oscars. Yes, where she will jump out.
I sort of want Free Solo to win, because then I just want Alex to go on stage and start climbing the fucking huge BAFTA that they have on stage. Free Solo the Oscar statue.
Rachel, of course, will continue momentum to the Oscars. Yes, well, she will job out righteously to Regina King. So,
more than likely.
We are moving on to Rising Star.
Yep. And AJ called it and went with the wrong one. Letitia Wright wins.
All that lengthy ass discussion for no reason. Yeah, I should really kind of stick to this go with my first fucking choice thing.
Yeah. That seems to be a problem we always have on the award season. We need to be prepared because this week is going to be our Oscar predictions. Don't know what day yet, but it's going to happen.
Some point in time.
Best adapted screenplay.
Yes.
He's happy because.
Okay. So,
you know what this means?
Yeah, are we going to discuss the crazy fucking thing that happened at USC Scripper?
Yeah, with Leave No Trace winning.
It was brought up in the chat. Yeah, Leave No Trace actually won it, apparently.
Okay, so obviously there was the whole thing of they oftentimes match. I think the last time they did match was Up in the Air, and then Children of Men winning there the year The Departed one was the last time it happened without the eventual Oscar winner not being nominated to USC Scripter. So if Beale Street was there, is it losing USC Scripter really good for Black Klansman now?
I think so.
Because that was kind of the first thought I had, but I don't want to get too overzealous because obviously that would be amazing. But
AJ, I think the point is now they're going to want to give something to Spike Lee.
Yeah, I was thinking because I kept thinking I was like, that's the only thing Black Klansman can win.
It's also interesting as well that it got the USC award and isn't nominated in the Spirits at all for screenplay.
Yeah, the Spirits are always like weird about that. Like some of the biggest frontrunners have like 2 nominees or something.
Yeah, it's in for director, but it's not in for the script.
So with this roundabout way to get to everything, what won the BAFTA?
Black Klansman.
That's what I was hoping you were going to say.
And they took the stage to Blood and Soil, which I loved very much.
Which won a Grammy tonight, actually.
The ironies of ironies that keep ironically happening. Irony. All the ironies.
All right, so we move on to original music.
We live in a world where Bradley Cooper has a BAFTA.
That's about freaking time.
For soundtrack.
I'll take it. Stars Born needs to win something.
And of course, he had to go up on stage because Gaga's busy winning awards in America.
Dude, that's why Mark Ronson performed with her tonight. Now it makes sense.
Yes. Bradley was representing the film at the movie things.
I'm very okay with this happening.
Beale Street really took some hits tonight.
I keep in mind that it's interesting considering how I, Tonya won supporting actress last year despite coming out the weekend of the awards. Because Beale Street opened in London this week to qualify, but doesn't open I say countrywide. It's not everywhere because not all the cinemas around me are showing it, but it opens Valentine's Day. I guess as an alternative to Instant Family or Happy Death Day to You. Because they're the weirdest Valentine films you could think of. I'm seeing a 20th anniversary screening of Notting Hill. That makes more sense. Also, I'm trying to get hyped for 25 years anniversary of 4 Weddings at bloody Red Nose Day in 5 weeks.
All right. So, best
Hopefully
original
Paddington
screenplay.
shows up.
Best original screenplay.
This, unsurprisingly, went to The Favourite.
Okay. Which we all went with.
Whether this will affect the Oscars or not, maybe, but I'd say unlikely.
Yeah, it's like I keep really going in the direction of the favorite here, Oscar wise, but then it also reoccurs to me how much they love Green Book, also. But
BAFTAs, not so much.
Well, this year's precursors for score have been no help. Globes and critics went for First Man. Star is Born won BAFTA, and it's not eligible. So we don't know who's going to win this time around.
Yeah.
Talking about Beale Street winning score at the Oscars, says Smurfy Boy. Cool Guy says the only thing we have are the Grammys going with Black Panther, which are heard as a precursor because the fact of their cutoff date.
Yeah, I'm still feeling Beale Street for score, I think.
Same. I honestly, Grammys matter about as much as the Annies do when it comes to the award season.
Well, this year I mean something.
This award season. Our film award season is what I'm referring to. Best supporting actor.
Speaking of, Mahershala Ali for Green Book.
I don't want to seem like I'm hating on him at all, but I was really, really hoping for a race.
It's over.
No pun intended.
It's super over now. I mean, there's some races that were completely like.
God, imagine if just randomly Grant or Driver. More so Grant, because it'd be like, what did BAFTA not see in it that the Oscars are just like, yes?
I know the argument was being made that Globe and BAFTA were making up for 2016, but it's like these on top of SAG again. It's, yeah.
There's no way in hell he loses the Oscar now. No, Smurfy Boy. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much solidified at this point. Two-time Oscar winner Mahershala Ali. Cool Guy said that.
Just wait. I'm just expecting it now to be something completely different. The swerve is coming.
The only thing that makes any sense was you want to talk about a win for Black Klansman. It'd be Adam Driver, but I don't see it.
That'd be the ultimate swerve.
How funny would it be if Sam repeats at the Oscars? Not a chance.
God.
Not a chance.
To be fair, they did use a good clip for him. So.
All right, let's go into.
I was wondering if they would censor fucking Say Yes or not. Of course they did.
Cinematography.
Before we say this, should we talk about the Guild?
Yeah, we can do that.
Obviously, the Guild has a tendency to not really match in this category. The most recent example I'm thinking of is when Lion took this out of nowhere.
Mm.
Yeah, obviously it's worth noting that Cold War took the Guild.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to affect Quarren's chances too much, especially after BAFTA.
No.
They matched perfectly because they didn't go with Cold War when they went with Roma.
Right.
Swerve.
Okay. Did we have anybody missing? Go ahead.
Even though I'm not going anywhere close to away from Quarren there, it was really nice to see a bit of a turn in the race, at least a little bit. But yeah, I still say Quarren is comfortable there.
Was there anything in the In Memoriam that was unique, like something they missed, or?
I was thinking Milos Forman was a lot longer ago. Am I mistaken?
Hang on. No, April. April the 13th. I thought they were going to close with Albert Finney. They just opened with it instead. They closed with, to quote Saints Row the Third, Burt fucking Reynolds.
Burton Leon Reynolds Jr., good sir. Don't you ever forget it.
No, that's the line in the film. When the mayor of the town is revealed to be Burt Reynolds and your character goes, Burt fucking Reynolds?
We're quoting different things.
It's better when Nolan North says it.
Next
is
British debut.
Right. Unsurprisingly, this went to Beast. considering it featured in the British film. It seems to be a trend. The one that's in debut is in British, but isn't in picture. And then the one that's in British, that's in picture, is just getting the other one underneath.
I couldn't believe they aired debut. I think the last time I saw debut in the ceremony was like 2009.
They aired it last year, though, didn't they? For I'm Not a Witch.
Possibly.
They did, at least over here. I don't know whether the edit's completely different.
So the last time I specifically remember somebody winning it was Duncan Jones.
Did they broadcast Best Picture after the Fellowship?
Yeah, that's what took me so long.
So they edit it differently.
Also,
over here they did picture and then the Fellowship.
Yeah, because they did the whole thing, and just as it looked like they were going to do picture, it was coming on 11. I was like, we're going to be over before 11. And then they did the recap. Then they went to commercials again. Then they did the Fellowship. Then another commercial. Then picture.
So you're telling me the BAFTAs turned into the second hour of Monday Night Raw?
Which is perfect because there were like 10 TV spots for Fighting With My Family throughout the night.
Sweet. I heard it's getting a lot of critical acclaim right now, too, and it makes me very happy.
Yeah, there's been press screenings over here. They're doing screenings next week. I don't know whether the one that I'm going to is, but it's got a good Rotten Tomatoes score, which
I had an option to see
a bad
it, but
thing.
I had no way to get there, unfortunately. I have to wait. ASC has a horrible track record. Burt Reynolds was Oscar-worthy in Boogie Nights. Yes, he was. Jack Horner for life. Burt Reynolds
what
had a
won
great
that year? Was it Jack Nicholson for As Good as It Gets?
It was he was supporting, so he lost to Robin Williams.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think he won the Globe, though, I think.
Yeah, he got something from it.
Cool Guy says, what wins animated feature next year? My money's on How to Overrate Your Dragon 3. God, I hope not.
Okay.
Toy Story 4.
In Grammy news, Casey Musgraves got Album of the Year for Golden Hour. And This Is America got Record of the Year. It did the record and song double. Shallow gets nothing else. So only 2 Grammys for Bradley Cooper. And a BAFTA.
Visual effects.
Which, unsurprisingly, went to Black Panther.
That's interesting.
So so if we're counting Letitia right, it got everything it was up for.
Yeah.
Did I mark this right that we all said Avengers?
Yeah. We did.
Lego all got swayed by the other award stuff, and have they done the VFX Guild?
Yeah. It was Avengers for the big one, and
but of course, Black Panther wasn't even in contention.
How did Kate win? Good question.
Does that mean Black Panther now? Is it honestly a Marvel 2-horse race between them two?
Perhaps.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Visual effects.
Well, with the guilds going with Avengers and quite a lot of the others going with Black Panther. Well, no, BAFTA only went with Black Panther, haven't they?
Yeah,
I think Critics' Choice was Avengers.
Since Black Panther got snubbed, I think Avengers' doors are opening wider.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Too many
crazy rhinos. Too many crazy rhinos.
Lego Movie will not be nominated. We'll see. Depends on how bad of an animated year it is. First Man wins the Oscar via Hugo and Interstellar. Janelle Monáe should have won Album of the Year. Heard that album was really good, actually.
She did 3 songs on the stage. I don't know how many Casey did.
Take it home, foreign.
Is it obvious?
No. I hope so.
Of course it's Roma.
Roma wins again.
Of course it's Roma.
Costume design.
Unsurprisingly. Oh, hang on. No. We've got to do this award again afterwards, Owen. So this went to the favorite.
Yeah, that was really cruel the way they announced that. Sandy Powell, long pause, the favorite.
Just to actually clarify which one it was for.
I mean, it's not like I didn't know, but still, there was like a glimmer of hope in that pause.
I think they showed it twice because actually they were giving it for the other one as well.
Well, yeah, we'll go with that.
Roma getting foreign twice.
Yeah.
Speaking of obvious answers, best director.
I was actually like, if they had said Lanthimos, I honestly wouldn't have been surprised.
But no.
Yeah.
Children of Men time.
Yeah, it's one of those cases where like something seems realistic, then as soon as they say Quarren's name, it's like, why would I even have that idiotic thought that it would be anybody?
Lego Batman was snubbed for The Boss Baby and Ferdinand. I'm still not going to get over that.
Well, this past Lego movie has a lot more live action in it than the first one did. That's probably going to not help anyway.
Yeah, it's not good. It's like that makes me think. Yeah, this it's a bit awkward. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard, I've heard that what happens, and to me, that was one of the best bits about the first one. So the fact that they're relying on it maybe too much for the second, maybe a little concerning.
Kendrick will never win Album of the Year. It'll happen someday. Best Actor.
Owen's gonna be happy.
The race is over, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
So is the first thing we're going to bring up the fact that he did thank Dexter Fletcher this time?
Yeah, I think he had to, considering it was the British one.
And he was there.
And he was there because Rocket Man got propped up for visual effects by a fucking person from Cirque du Soleil coming down. Yes, that's a great visual effect. That's a stunt, you twat. Go back up.
I remember calling this in August, and people looked at me like I had two heads.
No. For BAFTA, I think it makes sense. For Oscar, this is now officially... No.
That's over.
To you, maybe. To
me, of course.
To me, it's now definitively a two-horse race. This isn't a lock for Bale.
Bale's not winning. I've been with Malik since day one. I'm going to stick with it.
AJ?
I mean, I'm probably going to end up saying Malik, but I do agree that I don't think Bale's dead yet.
I think the race is over, but I still think there's a possibility that there could be a last-minute effort. I believe the race is over, but there could be a last-ditch effort at the last second.
And because we'll never know the votes, I'd still say, just to be on the safe side, it is a two-horse race.
The question is whether or not he'll be drunk at the show. Obviously, there was the whole with Bale. Obviously, we're talking the whole Globes thing. He seemed a bit tipsy, and then I only just learned recently the whole SAG thing when Gary Oldman was about to announce Glenn Close and somebody yelled something. Apparently, that was a drunken Bale screaming Gary Oldman's name.
That's amazing. Chad agrees with me. Cool Guy says Rami has the Oscar. Bradley is DOA. Smurfy Boy says Malik is definitely winning Best Actor. Star is dead is DOA.
Does that mean Gary Oldman regrets doing the Nolan Batman films? It's like, if I hadn't have done that, he wouldn't have gone, Gary Oldman!
There's a likely answer right there, my friend.
If you go back and watch, you can see everybody is once the only one that reacts. Everybody else is trying so hard to pretend it didn't happen.
Speaking of trying to pretend it didn't happen, Best Actress.
Hey,
What?
we actually got a wrench thrown in our race for once.
Yeah. Olivia Colman gets it.
I mean, I think Glenn Close is still pretty safe, but this is a nice little curveball.
I think, honestly, when you talk about a wrench, AJ, I think we're talking about those plastic toy toolboxes you had when you were a kid. Because there's no way that this wrench is going to do anything to this race.
I mean, I don't know. I'd say unlikely, but the possibility is there. More so, if Glenn Close had one, we could call it off.
Yeah, of course.
I'd say it's probably more, rather than being like a 95 close, it's probably more like a 75 or 80. It's still way more likely than Coleman winning, but I think Coleman's chances have gone up slightly.
I think it also helps that once again, I'm like, I don't want anything to be twisted here. I'm pretty good on the Glenn Close thing, but I do wonder if it's worth noting at all that Coleman's movie has 10 nominations and Close's has her.
Mm-hmm.
We saw what that did to Chalamet already.
Don't worry, Twitter's already just loving the fact of his dress tonight, so they don't give a shit.
Chad thinks that Close still wins. Cool Guy says, unless Adrian Brody's situation ends up happening, Willem Dafoe managing to pull out a win out of his ass.
That would be weird.
And for some reason, since it has to be so late in the show, for I don't understand why, costume design.
Which we already did.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's like watching the show again.
Let's play with the joke again.
And foreign film went to the Best Picture winner.
The best film once again went to Roma.
Yeah. I don't know whether that's the first time that's happened in BAFTA history. I'm guessing so. Best film not in the English language. And best film. Need to look at them side by side in order to see if there's any matches. Maybe. Yeah, Handmaiden didn't. No. Pan's Labyrinth, I don't think did. It just got foreign. Don't think. I think Crouching Tiger was nominated but didn't win in 2000. Yeah, because that went to Gladiator. So yeah, by the looks of it, I think that's the first time that foreign and Best Picture have matched at the BAFTAs. Whether that means anything, I don't know.
Well, it also means that if you look at our little competition we have going on, AJ wins another one.
And the guy from the country comes last again.
Just by one.
The trend, yeah, well, yes, but the trend continues in which I'm last. I wasn't as far behind as I was last year, so I'm sort of consolidating my lead to some extent, even though losing a few places on it. All of a sudden, the Oscars is a two-horse race rather than somebody, because AJ could easily catch me up. I don't think I'm depending how many picks we do the same on, though.
It's going to be tough to not do that.
Let's be honest, AJ. We're going to say Quaron for director, aren't we? And probably cinematography.
That's a very good bet.
So the other 22. Where's your bets?
I'm still, I don't think I'm going to. I don't think I have the balls. But I still keep thinking about that whole Cold War and foreign thing. Honestly. Like I said, it seems pretty clear now that Roma's taking picture. And like I said, without really a precedent for that.
We said back at the beginning of this, we were talking about the early onset predictions in like August and September that we are going to be in an age very soon that Netflix is going to have a Best Picture winner, and it happens the first year that it's out for them.
It is worth noting that the Netflix party only just finished about half an hour ago. So that's 4 in the morning, UK time. Apparently, they're going batshit crazy over there. Over
Hi,
this.
Netflix friends.
So only 3 films that came away with multiple nominations. 2 of Bo Rap Horseman. 4 for Roma, and 7 out of the 12 went to The Favorite. Everything else was one-time winners. So Vice only got 1. Green Book only got 1. Star Wars Born only got 1. Black
At least he
Klansman
got
only got 1
something.
as well. Yeah.
Okay. Cool Guy says Close 80%, Coleman 15, Gaga 3, Yalitza 1.5, McCarthy 5. Smurfy Boy brings up Julianne Moore winning for Still Alice, being the only nomination for that film. So
I know.
It could happen again. AJ knows that for sure. McCarthy is 0.5%, not 5%. Either Rachel and Stone split the votes and King wins the Oscar, or Rachel pulls a Rylance and wins. Cool Guy saying the same with Plumber for beginners. T.
I don't really. I mean, I'm still probably going to. Actually, I don't know. Stallone screwed me last time. But I was thinking, I've been leaning towards King, but in regards to Vice and Stone, I'm really not buying the vote splitting thing.
You never do.
I think they're gonna. It's pretty clear they'll lean more to one than the other.
Yeah.
Especially after tonight.
Rachel wins. The industry snubs are too damning to Regina. I don't think it matters.
Show up? Or was she a still picture like Gaga?
What was that?
Did Emma Stone show up, or was she a still picture like Gaga?
She was a picture.
What's she doing? I can't remember what she's in the middle of filming. Is Sarah? Did she ditch the BAFTAs because she's doing bloody Zombieland 2? That'd be funny if it was the case.
I do think they might be filming now, so that's possible.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the fact that they did the whole 10-year challenge thing last week.
Confirmed. They're filming now. BAFTA clearly saw the movie to nominate and score in screenplay, yet chose not to nominate her.
It would be nice, because usually I'm all anti-Rachel Weisz and everything. But, I mean, if I had to choose between the two, Weisz did so much more.
I mean, proven time and time again that doesn't matter, though.
I know King's is much more internalized, I get it, but I still just... Weisz does a lot more in general.
But Rachel doesn't have much industry support, because if she did, she would have won at SAG.
If you don't include the guild scores...
SAG was just them fixing a grave fucking error. That's all that was.
If you don't include the guild scores, I'm on 46 in total. AJ's on 44, Owen's on 37. If you do include the guild so far, with WGA to announce in less than 24 hours, I'm on 57, AJ's on 53, and Owen's on 47.
Yep, I am mathematically eliminated from this competition.
Well, no, but if Star is Born and Vice pick up the WGAs, you pick up 2 and we get nothing.
Mm.
And you went with some different ones in the spirits as well compared to us.
Okay, let's see. Rylance. Okay, if Rylance did, he would have won SAG. Regina reeks of Murphy in Washington. They lost to Arkin and Affleck. But yes. We'll see. Adam says 0 chance now. Yeah.
Just take those dreams and crush them.
It's coming. It's coming, but it's not this year.
No, next year is Greta Gerwig.
Darn right it is. Right that wrong from last time. So that's your show. Stay tuned for later this week at some point in the future for our 100% final Academy Awards predictions. And then on February 24th, 1 hour before the actual broadcast, we'll be talking the results of the Spirit Awards, the Razzies, and everything in between leading to our official Oscar telecast, which is going to be a podcast. This is going to go throughout the entire show. So get ready for that, folks. It's going to be a fun night.
I'm still trying to work out what they're going to open with. Because they're going to have some sort of like introduction thing for at least a few minutes before we get to the awards. I'd have thought. Is it just going to be a video package?
We'll see. Speaking of video packages, wrestling fans of this network, fear not. We're actually going to be live for Raw tomorrow night for the first time in God knows how long. I'm actually going to watch the thing. Needless to say, that's going on in the background. We're talking about All Elite Wrestling and Ring of Honor and New Japan and all sorts of awesome things. It is a Monday Wrestling podcast, and who knows, you may end up having some special guests. I guess you have to wait and see. Amy most likely lost her Emmy chances. Yeah, probably so. And what if they bring Rob Lowe back?
Well, it would have to be somebody from Hollywood that can do sort of humorous stuff, but not be overtly seen as a host. That would be the issue. Unless they sort of SNL it and it's like, oh, here's secretly like Billy Crystal or Steve Martin doing the introduction or something.
I mean, have Steve Martin and Martin Short do it and promote the new tour they're doing.
Although I've just noticed something awesome via looking at the pictures from tonight. Here is Spike Lee's shoes. I think he likes his own film.
Awesome.
Oh, who was it? When somebody won tonight, he was really enthusiastic, and I can't remember who it was now. Oh, it was Rami Malek. He like hugged him and was like jumping up and down and shit. So Rami Malek's got like a huge fan. Another thing I want to mention about Spike Lee real quick, and the things that he likes. I was actually telling you, in this like yesterday, somebody tried to start some shit on Go Figure Twitter, because of course they did.
Right.
I don't think I talked about this on here yet.
No.
Where they were doing the luncheon thing, and some dude tweeted out and said that Spike Lee had been clapping for everybody at the luncheon while they were gathering on the risers, and the only person he didn't visibly clap for was Peter Farrelly. So they were trying to make it this whole thing about how Spike Lee potentially didn't like Green Book as like another white savior movie or a black themed movie by another white director or something like that. Well, number one, there's video evidence of him clapping for Peter Farrelly. And secondly, if that's not enough for you, they did the DGA sort of roundtable type thing, which is the 5 DGA nominees. Mm-hmm. And it's like a 2.5 hour interview between the 5 of them with a moderator. And you know how Spike Lee's been like really, really increasingly friendly with Quaron lately during these roundtables. The roundtable ends, and Spike Lee's on the end, so they all stand up. Spike Lee shakes Quaron's hand, shakes Adam McKay's hand, and gives Peter Farrelly a giant hug. So I don't think Spike Lee has anything against Green Book, despite somebody trying to drive that.
Sure.
Yeah, but he didn't shake his hand.
He did the grab.
It's the old wrestling thing of when you look at the guy that's hugging his face and his face is just emotionless.
He definitely did the handshake pull in for the hug thing.
All right.
So like that's for some reason people are really, really still trying to kill Green Book. The ways are getting more and more desperate as they go.
Also, something that's actually worth bringing up because I just noticed it in the write-up. Letitia's speech about how she nearly gave up acting because of depression. And it was only sort of the BAFTAs saying they wanted her to be the face of their Breakthrough Brits campaign thing they did a few years back that got her back in. So, I guess just like last year, because there was a somewhat similar speech, although it wasn't depression that was the factor with Kaluuya. I guess they're trying to say to young people, give acting a chance.
Did it feel like we came full circle that Kaluuya won it last year and most of Lakeith Stanfield's close were from Get Out?
There you go.
Because nobody saw Sorry to Bother You, you stupid fucks.
Cool Guy says, what if Ashley did the monologue? And that's going to be the last thing we say in chat tonight.
Wow. Well, it's simple. Here's some films. Some were good. Some were shit. Some should be here. Some shouldn't be. Let's get the fuck on with it. First what?
Don't forget you got to sign off with a hot damn.
No. We live in a world where Bradley Cooper has a Grammy. I can't do that anymore. I'm saving that for the night.
Imagine watching the ceremony and Ashley was on stage without him telling you he was doing the monologue.
One, somebody bet me a fucking passport in the next fortnight.
Shoot. And
2, thanks BBC America for retweeting our tweet about this show.
Correct.
We'll drop that on AJ right at the end as well.
Yeah, they liked our tweet about the show tonight.
Well, that was very nice of them.
Yes, it was.
This is BBC America. Don't catch you slipping, though.
Exactly. So, Ashley, where can you find your social media?
I'm on Twitter at AshesMyNameUK.
More snack stashes and Gaming with Ash segments coming in the near future as well. We'll be live tomorrow at 8 p.m. for Raw, which basically it's just to do the Monday Wrestling podcast. The Raw stuff's going to be secondary, of course, as always.
Reacting to Raw at the same time because there'll be plenty of gaps of I don't care about this or insert ads here. Unless there's a shit ton of ads for fighting with my family. In which case Owen will be glued.
Extremely important stuff about All Elite Wrestling, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm wearing the guy that has all his friends are dead. Needless to say, AJ cannot be found on social media, but if you'd like to leave him a comment, you're more than welcome to do so. And if you have any ideas for Sip and Snack or versus the other regular segments on this email, you can shoot me an email if you'd like at SoroandDisney@gmail.com.
So I'm throwing a slight change into my plans this month. How I was going to do a Best Picture winner in each of the verses throughout this month. I owe you like 3 now. And there's going to be, I think I'm going to replace one for the obvious news that broke. I'm going to do Tom Jones, which I actually wasn't planning on. It's just a matter of which one I'll drop. I don't know. I don't think it matters.
Okay. More verses coming in the near future. AJ's Movie Reviews is back this weekend as well. Actually, it's back this week. Shock surprise. It'll actually be back in the next couple of days.
Yeah, it's the Lego Movie and Cold Pursuit together.
What a great double bill.
Yeah.
And if you'd like, you can follow me on Twitter at SoroandDisney. And thanks, everyone, for being in our live chat room. You guys are awesome. Thank you for keeping the show flow so effortlessly every single time around and always keeping good conversation. We'll see you guys back here on Oscar Sunday. But first, we're going to see you guys for our Oscar predictions later this week. Time to be announced. So I'd say sometime in the middle to the end of the week, you'll have it. It'll be before Friday. I can say that right now, guaranteed, but I don't know exactly when yet. I need to do something Thursday so I don't lose my mind, so it's possible. We'll see what happens. So that's going to be your show, and thanks, everyone, for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
Hank, look, I know you did the editing for Vice, but people keep saying to me in chat that I need to smoke some stuff. It looks like you're on it. Can I have some?